For this video discussion, I decided to talk about multicultural education and how we can incorporate that into our classrooms and the lessons that we're teaching. As teachers, it is very important to take the differences of our students into consideration. Diversity has always been something that I've been passionate about. Growing up, I didn't go to a very culturally diverse school, and it had a big effect on my friend groups, my grades, and my motivation to participate in different school activities. As a teacher, it'll be one of my biggest goals to really emphasize the importance of multicultural education. I think a lot of teachers struggle with this because they don't have a lot of knowledge on different cultures and backgrounds of their students and their coworkers. So this can really have a huge impact on the effectiveness of their teaching. In addition to understanding other cultures, the book suggests different ways that you can kind of tie multicultural education into your classroom and make it effective and make sure all of your students are included. So some of these suggestions include, before using any curricular materials, review them to ensure that they are free from stereotypes related to race, ethnicity, sex, and gender, and also disability. Scrutinize books, illustrations, artwork, and plays chosen for production by the school and choose culturally fair examples. So basically just make sure you're tying in all of your different races, genders, cultures into your materials that you're using to teach. When using pictures or verbal descriptions of individuals from different groups, including the two different sexes, choose materials depicting these people in activities or jobs that are diverse and not associated with stereotypes. So don't put somebody from an African American culture into a low-income job and then compare that to somebody who is Caucasian with a very high-income, successful paying job, because that's part of a very common stereotype that we hear a lot nowadays. To help students overcome their stereotypes, discuss openly the current political and social status of different cultures. I think this can really be eye-opening to a lot of students because they picture different cultures of being either low income or high income, and I think when they're learning about this, it can really open up their eyes and make them realize, oh, somebody from this culture can actually be pretty successful in their career. And the last suggestion is to use high status individuals from various racial groups, so that kind of ties in, and from both sexes as examples in classroom teaching. So making sure that your examples, if you have different speakers, make sure that they are from both sexes, make sure that they're from a variety of different races. So basically make sure you are just tying in everybody, make sure you're inclusive, your materials are all inclusive of different races, ethnicities, genders, and socioeconomic statuses. Referring back to one of those tips, I think it is extremely important to avoid stereotypes of different groups. Some stereotypes may include the abilities of different races and socioeconomic groups. A lot of times these stereotypes are evaluating the intelligence of different groups, and it can be very harmful, hurtful, and demeaning to some of our students, and can really have an impact on their learning and their motivation to get through school and participate. I think it should be a goal for all teachers to avoid this type of stereotyping because it can really have an effect on the learning and overall enjoyment of students in their school careers.